What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Nick. I know I'm probably not your usual resident bald gym reviewer, but here we are. So I'm gonna ask you to like and subscribe and follow along for the video. So today we're gonna be talking about the Temple of Gainz standing MultiFlight. Now I am affiliated with Temple of Gainz, so I will tell you guys that now. This doesn't change my opinion on the piece of gym equipment, but there will be a link in the description if you're looking to pick up this piece of gym equipment. So this is for sale from Temple of Gainz. It starts at $2,099 currently as we're filming the video. You can get a version with aluminum pulleys, which I have, that's $23.49. And there is another version that's a little more expensive with knurled handles. I have the rubber handles, not the knurled handles, but you know, knurl the world. So if you're looking for a knurled option, you could definitely do that. As of filming this video, I'm shocked to say I've had this piece of gym equipment for 6 months now. That time flew by. So I often get questions from people about this piece of equipment on my other videos. So I figured that I would film a little update on this. So what we have is we have a piece of gym equipment that's a standing MultiFlight with a Selectorized stack. It has 15 positions on it. You know, you're gonna be able to use it for standing lateral raises, bent over lateral raises. You can do pullovers with it. You could do chest flies, both on a bench or standing. I've even seen people attach a pool noodle to it and use it for hip abductor motions. So this has a lot of different movements that you can do with it, which is awesome because it's versatile. And when you buy something for your home gym, you want to make sure you're getting as much out of it as you can for the money. So people often ask me why I would get something like this rather than a functional trainer. First off, my ceilings in my gym are very low, so functional trainers are a little limited to get into my home gym. But this gives me so many movements that I can do that supplements the rest of my workouts. And you guys have seen videos of me using this for, like I said, like the incline fly, which is a good substitute for I also have the GMWD chest fly machine. And it's not exactly the same in terms of being able to replace it, but it's a good movement if you don't want to take up too much space in your gym. Like they say, jack of all trades, master of none is better than a master of one. So it is something that you can add to your gym to make sure you have that versatility. My son Damien's behind the camera giving me the thumbs up, so I think so far this is going pretty well. But oftentimes questions that I would get about this piece of equipment had to do with noise level. For some reason, I guess people in my videos, it's hard because the camera microphone sometimes picks up a lot of weird noises. I feel like there's this obsession with something being totally quiet or a certain threshold of noise. I do find that it does make a little bit of noise when I'm using the machine, whether it be either the stack going up and down, some noise from the pulleys, but there's not really, if you go back and watch my videos, an absurd amount of noise from this piece of gym equipment. So I sort of want to put that to bed because I think people are concerned that it may be overly loud piece of gym equipment. And I don't find that to be the case. Sometimes if you're doing a lot of weight where you're exerting a lot of movement, you may have a slight movement in the overall mechanism of the machine where the pin that adjusts the height is sort of moving slightly and there may be a little shift that creates a sound, but I think that's inevitable because the tolerances would have to be so tight in order to keep the whole thing just clamped down while you're moving all this weight that I just don't see it feasible for a piece of equipment to function that way. So that's the first thing. Another thing that I saw and that I experienced myself is that on the weight stack, the first 2 plates are like attached together. So even though this moves in 11-pound increments, really the first weight is at 22 pounds rather than the 11 pounds that's at the top of the machine. I know that you can contact Temple of Gainz and they'll actually, I believe, I'm not sure if they'll sell you or send you, I'm not sure. I think they'll sell it to you maybe. I've never looked into it because I don't plan on doing it, but you can get a version of it where they're detached so you could have those increments. If it came that way originally, I probably would prefer that, but since it didn't come that way, it doesn't bother me because I never go that light with the machine. Now, what I do use is I use the micro Gainz gym pin so I can get in between weights, and I also use drop set pins. And I use those to make sure that I can that, well, obviously that's the benefit of having a weight stack, is that you could superset and then you can get the weights in between. You could even mix and match those in between the two of them. You can use both of them together. So that's something to keep in mind. I'm using this primarily for the lateral raises, the bent over lateral raises, and then the chest fly, but like sort of like the downward, the chest press movement. I'll use that as a finisher sometimes for in my chest day. I will add that in different places along the way. I find that I'm really able to focus and hit my delts better using this than I am with dumbbells. So that's why that's important to me. Now, when I first got this machine, I want to be clear here too, the build quality of this machine is off the charts. Some of the ones you see online, if you take a quick look at them, you'll see that the frames are completely bolted together in different pieces. This arrived in one piece, except for the base, basically, and then the carriage piece in the middle that you're, actually moving up and down. And I'm sorry for my flailing arm movements. But you build the base, then you have an entire structure that's one solid piece, and it's heavy. So make sure you have someone help you. I had someone help me bring it down into the basement when I got it. This thing, I can't imagine there ever being any type of structural issue with it because it's just so solid. That's something to really keep in mind. And when you're thinking about spending the extra money on this piece of equipment, the two biggest things that I'm going to think of over the counterparts that are available at much less prices are that solid piece is going to be a superior build quality. And rather than, I know there's plate loaded versions of this machine, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't waste my time with those because you're losing the benefit of the Selectorized stack. You're losing the benefit of being able to do drop sets, supersets, whatever you're trying to do with this machine with those plates. I can't imagine having to peel plates off this machine versus just switching the pin or having drop set pins in there. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, after 6 months of ownership, obviously I could say glowingly that I love this piece of gym equipment. I have no regrets of adding this. This is probably the most expensive piece I have in my home gym, or one of the most expensive pieces. And if I could do it all over again, the only thing I would change is that I would have bought it sooner. So that's something that you'll want to keep in mind, and that I can sort of press on you, is that if you're looking to get a Selectorized MultiFlight or wondering if it's something that's worth it, I'm going to say 100% yes. It's definitely an awesome piece of gym equipment. And 6 months of ownership of this for me has been 6 months of just like joy. And the thing is, in a home gym, you start getting used to when you can get a workout done quicker, and it makes you lazy sometimes to do other stuff. So this has really allowed me sort of to just hop over to the machine, get some lateral raises in or something like that, and be done with that portion of my workout. So, this is sort of my little 6-month checkup for you guys on this piece of gym equipment. If you have questions for me, because I know you guys do, I went back and looked at the other videos to see what kind of questions you had, and I hope that this hit on them for you guys. So make sure you drop your comments below, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.